Welcome to Bubba's Podcast.
Bienvenidos a Bobos Podcast, a cada uno de ustedes que está escuchando, viendo el episodio. Bonnie, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenida.
Hello, good to be here.
No, ¿nerviosa o qué?
Oh yeah, I always get nervous when I have to talk.
Yeah, yo veo que. Haz de cuenta que estamos hablando, pues como siempre hablamos.
I know, that's true. We always have like long conversations.
Yeah, yo creo que, pues sí, está chido. Vamos a comenzar un poco, a hablar un poco de tu vida. Siempre que, desde la primera vez, yo siempre que escuchaba Bonie, I was like, I don't know who it is. No sabía quién era. Nomás siempre escuchaba buenos comentarios de ti.
Mm-hmm.
El pastor Pineda hablaba, por muchas ocasiones habló de ti. Y siempre te ponía de ejemplo.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Oh.
Siempre te ponía de ejemplo porque decía que eras una muchacha que, aparte de todo lo que has pasado, siempre le has dado una buena vista a la vida.
Oh.
Yeah. Y yo dije, pues, ¿quién será esa muchacha? Y nunca se me... Pues yo cuando yo escuchaba hablar de hermano Pineda, yo pensaba
Mm-hmm.
que él estaba hablando de alguien de República Dominicana.
Oh.
Pero no eras tú, ya hasta después que no me acuerdo en qué evento fue que llegaste a un evento, no sé qué evento fue, y llegaste y tú le diste un abrazo, y luego
Uh-huh.
él te mencionó en el púlpito. Y dice,
Oh, really?
eso es ella, ya. Hace como
I'm trying to
9
remember.
años o 10 años.
Really?
Ya, hace muchos años de eso.
Oh my gosh.
Ya, pero ya, nomás tenía ganas cuando estuvimos hablando con Mark Israel. Y empezamos a hablar yo y Margarito de entrevistar a los presidentes del distrito de todo el estado de Texas.
Yeah.
Yo dije, no puedo empezar a entrevistar a otra gente cuando no he entrevistado a mi mesa directiva, ¿sabes?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Especialmente que los tres son amigos míos y no nomás son amigos, sino son personas que hemos trabajado juntos desde el 2018, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Pero ya, ¿cómo fue cuando te eligieron? ¿Cómo te fue ese día? ¿Ya sabías, te imaginaste que un día estar en la mesa directiva?
Well, I feel like God was preparing me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm pretty sure you remember. So I guess like a quick backstory. I came from Corpus Christi because I was going to school there for a while. And, I came back home and my parents, we've always been apostolic, but they were going to another church that was also apostolic, but not part of the apostolic assembly.
Yeah.
And so we were there for a while. And then, after my dad passed away, God was leading us a different way. Yeah. And he showed us that we needed to be at the church that we are right now, which is Balch Springs, Fuente de Misericordia with Pastor Nick Cruz.
¿Ahí estaban desde antes de que se fueran? ¿O nomás fue algo que sintieron ir a ese?
Pues a long time ago, we used to go to that church, but it was under a different pastor. Yeah. And so, after, we left and then I had to go to school and all this and that. It's crazy how life turns out and we're back, in that place, but with Pastor Cruz. And I truly believe that's where God really, wanted us. And, my dad recently passed away at that time. So we were still healing, me and my mom. And, it's a process. And, Pastor Cruz and Sister Sally, they helped us out a lot. And, God was using them. And so out of nowhere, my pastor put me as president, youth president, because the old youth president was going to the army. Yeah. And so my pastor, he's like, Bonnie, I would really want you to continue. And I'm like, I've never been in leadership position. Yeah. Like, this is a first for me. And then shortly after, I think it was elections. Okay. And I already made some new friends because I was coming back to the assembly. And I knew some people since, when I was a little girl. Yeah. And then so I made some new friends. And I guess I made an impact. I don't know. Yeah. It's just me being me. And for the elections, it was between me and Mark, I think, for secretary. Yeah. And we kept coming out tied. And I'm pretty sure everybody was like, who's this Bonnie girl? Like, who is she? And I was super nervous. I was like, first of all, I don't even know what the district board does. Like, I'm kind of new to assembly, but technically I'm not really that new, but, you know. And Bishop Tames, you know, he did something, I think it was like for the first time or something like that, where he had us like pick a piece of paper, and one of the papers said no and the other one said yes, as in yes, you would be the secretary. And sure enough, he told me it was ladies first, and I was so nervous. And then I felt like, okay, I'm really bad with my right and my left, okay? Like, I have to do like the little signs because I mean I don't, you know, I'm really bad with that. And something in me said left, and automatically like my hand went, you know, to the left side, and I picked the paper and it said no. And como que like this huge relief kind of washed over me, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh gosh. And so I feel like God was kind of like preparing me, you know. And then I remember Sister Soul stepped down for personal reasons, and they were gonna elect a new treasurer. And so at that time, it was between me and Luis. And I was like, oh, Lord. I'm like, you know, I don't like to deal with money, Father. You know, that's not me. And, you know, Luis came out as treasurer. And so I was like, okay, like, I think I need to prepare myself. I don't know, like, I need to pray about it. And sure enough, you know, elections came, and I had a feeling, but I was like, no, you know. And I was like, all right, God, pues, if it's from you, it's gonna happen. And I know that because I know we got like tied a couple times, like 3 times or something like that. And the last time I was like, no, God, like I'm not even gonna vote for myself. So just the second time. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm like, maybe I'll vote for myself. What could pasa? And sure enough, otra vez side, I'm like, okay, God, I'm not gonna play anymore. Like, if it's from you, it's gonna happen. If not, it's fine, you know. And I'm, you know me, I'm more than willing to help out the district, you know, whether I'm in a leadership position or not. And sure enough, you know, it came out that I was a secretary, and I was like, oh gosh, like I don't know why I got it, but I mean, I've learned to just trust in you, and that's it. Yeah.
I remember la primera vez que estabas peleando con Mark, o que estaban votando por ustedes dos. Yo dentro de mí, yo ya había trabajado con Mark, obviously. I mean, que quería mucho, pero no que quería tanto como Pablo. Like, no. Yo estaba diciendo por dentro, ojalá que no me vayan a quitar a Mark. Porque él hacía mi trabajo muchísimo más fácil. So, porque él ya sabía, cuando yo decía un comentario, él ya sabía lo que quería decir. Entonces, eso es lo que me gustaba. Luis, Sol, sí sabían lo que querían decir, pero no lo traducían como yo lo quería decir. Yo le decía a Mark, necesito que le mandes una carta al obispo y le digas de esta situación que estamos pasando. Que él sabía cómo escribirla realmente como yo quería. Y si le decía a Mark o a Luis, a Sol o a Luis, lo traducían en sus propias palabras. Y Mark lo traducía en mis palabras. Por eso no quería, digo, ojalá que no toque Bonie. No porque no harías un buen trabajo, simplemente porque no quería perder a Mark, porque es una persona increíble para trabajar con él. Y ahorita que la gente lo mira muy serio. No.
I thought he was so serious when I first met him. But he's nothing like that. It's a good thing, you know, sí, he's really funny.
Da una impresión y no es lo que es. O sea, sí es lo que es, pero no como la gente piensa. Y cuando se trata de tomar una decisión, es muy firme en su decisión.
Oh, yeah. No, that's for sure.
Yo creo que si él haya sido presidente en vez de yo, íbamos a chocar. Y yo y él nunca chocamos. Yo creo que nomás una vez chocamos y no me acuerdo, era algo súper pequeño, no me acuerdo. No me acuerdo, no quiero exponerlo y tampoco no me acuerdo. Y le dije a Mark, no lo vamos a hacer. Ok. O sea, fue muy obediente. Pero ya nomás quería compartir eso, que yo no quería que quedaras tú en ese momento, ¿sabes? Porque no quería que me quitaran a Mark como secretario. Y quedó él como secretario y luego ya seguimos todo. Pero no, chido que... entonces después de las elecciones, ¿cómo fue tu primer día cuando te eligieron?
Well, it was kind of like... I'm not going to lie. Even though I felt like God was preparing me, I was still kind of shocked, you know? And a lot was going through my mind. I'm like, okay, God, like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know you know what you're doing, and I'm just gonna trust in you, God, because I mean, yeah, I saw the way you guys worked, things that you guys had to do, and I remember the camp before.
Yeah.
I saw Mark running back and forth, and I was like, oh my gosh, pobrecito Mark. And then I started seeing myself like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be in that position, and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna be stressing out, because that's one thing about me.
Yeah.
Is when I was president at my local church and we had to do an event, pues, it's a lot of preparation and this and that. And I would get so stressed that I wouldn't even eat. I was like, man, by the end of, the term, everything, I'm gonna be all skinny because ni he comido, all the stress. But I mean, it really isn't, stressful when you have a good team and you're able to rely on each other. And, I feel like I can always rely on Mark and his role, and they know they can rely on me también.
Yeah. ¿Qué fue lo más difícil de tu posición? ¿O qué ha sido lo más difícil de tu posición?
Oh,
man.
man.
A mí dice que hay muchas cosas que a lo mejor no podemos decir.
Yeah.
O no debemos de decir porque son cosas del distrito.
Mm-hmm.
No es nada oculto para los que nos estén escuchando, pero simplemente ética nomás. ¿Qué es lo más difícil que ha sido para ti en el distrito?
For me, it sounds silly, but typing out the emails and stuff like that, like you have to sound so formal and this and that, and then I got to do it in Spanish. Oh yeah, so I'm really thankful to Mark.
Mark lo hacía todo en inglés.
Yeah, I know, but like we would do Google Translate, and then I would call over my mom, and I'm like, Mom, does this sound right? Like, does it sound like I'm trying to get my message across? Does it sound good? And también como que my mom would be like, I don't know that word, but it's because like Google. Sometimes it translates weird, and but she would help me out a lot. But también like I would send it over to Mark, and Mark would review it, and then he'd be like, oh, let's make these couple changes. I'm like, oh, okay, and yo obediente. Yeah, I'm like, okay, let's do this. And but yeah, I feel like that's been kind of like one of my difficult.
Lo más difícil. ¿Y lo más fácil?
And lo más fácil,
mandar.
Right, mandar.
La gente no sabe, pero el presidente es lo más chido que pueda haber.
Yeah.
¿Sabes?
Yeah.
Porque no sé cómo trabaja Mark, pero el presidente nomás está diciendo, o presidenta nomás está diciendo, necesito esto, Mark. Yo cuando yo estaba, Mark, necesito esto. Le dije, necesito esto y ya.
Yeah.
Y te la llevas más suave.
Yeah.
Aunque todo el estrés va para ti. Yo le decía a Mark y a Luis, le digo, miren, si todo sale bien, todos salimos bien.
Yeah.
Pero si algo sale mal, yo soy el que hice las cosas mal. Entonces, creo que esa es la diferencia de cuando das las órdenes.
Yeah.
Porque te llevas toda la paleta. Si sale algo mal, si sale algo bien, todo sale bien.
Yeah.
Pero si sale algo mal, tú eres el que llevas la paleta. Entonces, para delegar tu trabajo, ¿ha sido difícil o ha sido fácil? ¿Cómo trabajas con tu equipo?
Well, for me, it's been a little bit like kind of difícil because I'm not like I'm more of like, hey, can you do this? If not, it's okay, I can do it. And it's very bad because I've been told you got to be firm in the things that you got to do and say, and you have to be firm, and that's never really been my strong suit. Is like como que I feel like it's an inconvenience, but I try to put myself in the other people's shoes, because I would always be willing. Oh, you need something? All right, let's go. And we have so many people like that in our district, but I'm always like, oh, can you do this for me? But no, that's something I'm still kind of have to work on, as a leader, to be more firm.
Porque creo que cuando eres firme, los demás te entienden. Like, si tú le dices, necesito esto, la mayoría de gente no va a decir que no. Yo creo que hay 1% que maybe no te va a decir que no. Pero en el círculo donde estamos, todos están listos para ayudar. Yo creo que eso es lo que tiene. Yo lo aprendí como hacia los 2 años después. Ya después ya era más fácil. Necesito decir aquello.
No, but you know what? I feel like I have so much respect for Mark. Porque I remember like the first couple months, I would rely so much on him. Because, that was his position. And I would always be like, okay, Mark, how did you guys do it before? Because I wanted to do it, like the way y'all did it. And I guess I didn't want to mess up the system, and he helped me out a lot, and he sent me a lot of like PDF files and stuff like that, and templates, like, oh, like when you do the email, do it like this, and so that helped me out a lot. And then with graphics and stuff, it's just, I have some people that actually do like the logos for me, and then sometimes I'll do the flyers, or I'll have somebody else do the flyer for me. And so, but when I would do them, right away, Mark, does this look good? Yeah. And I would send it in the group chat, and as to Israel would be like, oh, that looks great. And I'm like, I would tell Israel, I love your opinion, but I really need to know what if Mark likes it or not. And then that's why Israel me ha dicho, like, you see, that's why yo no te digo.
Yeah, por lo mismo.
Yeah, and then Mark, like, he says, oh, it looks really good, but he sees the details, and he's like, oh, you're missing the logo here, or we should move it here. I'm like, okay, and I'll make those changes, and it looks good.
Yeah. Mark mira los detallitos pequeñitos. Y eso es lo que me gustaba cuando era secretario, porque miraba todos los detallitos pequeños. Y para mí eso me sirve, porque está el trabajo mejor, ¿sabes?
Yeah, because yo también, I'm real detail oriented. Like, I'm a perfectionist. Yeah. And then I could spend, an hour or so doing like a small project that would take someone maybe 30 minutes. Yeah. But it's because like I'm moving every single little detail, and like, oh, this looks better. And I feel like Mark's the same way, like very detailed también.
Si tú pudieras, porque una de las cosas que yo hice muchas veces era voltear el tiempo para atrás y mirar qué hacía diferente cuando estaba en esa posición. Si yo te dijera ahorita, ya no eres presidenta, ya no eres secretaria, right? ¿Qué harías diferente? Porque ahorita cuando no haces ese ejercicio, se te va el año o los 2 años que es de tu turno, y luego volteas para atrás y dices, yo miré eso y no lo hice. Yeah. Si yo te dijera ahorita, ya no eres secretaria, a partir de mañana domingo ya no eres secretaria, ¿tú qué harías diferente? Porque ahorita lo puedes hacer, ¿sabes?
Yeah, that's true.
Cuando volteas eso, creo que empiezas a hacer las cosas diferentes. ¿Tú qué harías si ya no fueras secretaria? Está chido eso. Yeah. Porque empiezas a pensar, yo podía hacer eso. Tengo el poder ahorita, ¿por qué no lo hago? No
yeah. Sé si no, yeah, I get you. Like, I guess something I probably would do a little bit more different is, and I kind of started doing it for Next Gen. Yeah. I was having people send me videos and promoting Next Gen and trying to get people hyped up and, excited for Next Gen. I don't know if you saw those, like, I think it was like 30-second videos that we posted online. And, but I feel like I want to keep doing that, but not only like that 1 week. Yeah. I would probably like start doing it from like months.
Correct.
Yeah, and just to get people like aware of what's coming up, because I know some people need heads up. Yeah. And months in advance, so they can like ask their jobs, not to, work that day. But I feel like I would start promoting like way, like ahead of time.
¿Y tienes un equipo para eso?
Como like I have a couple people that help me with like logos, like I said before. But I've kind of like put everything on my shoulders. Muy mal. And it's muy mal. Yeah. But I'm starting to find people that are good with graphics, and I can talk to them. And since this year is almost over, I'm already making my own little team for next year, and because I don't want to put so much on my shoulders. And también I want to make I want to make our social media more active.
You in charge of the social media?
Yeah. I'm in charge of the social media, and like sometimes we'll like put Bible verses, but I kind of want to, I think you guys used to do that like almost every
Tuesday.
Every Tuesday?
Every Tuesday, every Thursday. Siempre teníamos algo los martes y los jueves.
Yeah. I want to start doing stuff like that, or making even small little videos of people. Yeah. And for the promoting events, or just talking about life or something, really small.
Eso es lo que tú harías si ya no fuera secretaria.
Yeah.
Algo más.
Because I feel like, God can really move through those social medias, because everyone's always on TikTok, Instagram.
¿Tienen TikTok el distrito?
I don't think so. No, we don't have TikTok. I don't think so. I mean, unless Mark no me dijo.
¿Sabes quién es el Anonymous de la page de Instagram?
No, everyone thinks it's me.
But it's not you, right?
It's
No.
not me.
¿Sabes qué está curioso?
Uh-huh.
No sé si sabías esto, pero tú puedes verificar cuando es una persona la que está escribiendo.
Uh-huh.
La persona que hacía el social media de los jóvenes del distrito de nosotros,
Uh-huh.
cuando tú tomaste exposición, de volada en la pura escritura se mira que no es la misma persona.
Yeah.
¿Sabes?
Yeah.
Entonces, lo que me gustaría hacer, sé que nos van a escuchar esos primos que lo hacen,
You guys are listening.
es ver todos los jóvenes que están,
Ajá.
porque tiene que ser alguien que está activo en el distrito,
yeah.
alguien que realmente es muy energético para hacerlo.
Uh-huh.
Ir y revisar como a 5 personas y ver
Ujú.
cómo escriben ellos y ver cómo escriben los Anonymous.
Mhm.
Ya
Well,
es
I
como
tell you
que-
what, though. You know it's not someone with a Samsung phone. It's iPhone emojis. And I have
Okay.
a Samsung. I know, yeah, chill.
Ya me yo también.
Yeah, we have Samsung,
Pero
right?
Margarito es cuando siempre tenemos problemas con
Ajá.
Margarito, porque necesitamos mandarnos algo y tiene Samsung, bro.
Yeah,
Eso
yeah.
es lo malo, pero no sigue.
Yeah, and they have like iPhone emojis.
Okay.
And then,
So, ya empezamos bien.
Yeah,
Esa
we're
persona
good.
o ese grupo de personas tiene iPhone.
yeah, but that means it's a larger group that we got.
Sí, correcto. No es tan pequeño. Entonces, realmente ahí tú estás fuera de...
Mm-hmm.
Tú, Mark y
And Israel.
Ni
Yeah,
uno
we're
de
all
los tres tiene
Samsung.
ya. Ninguno de los tres.
No, but yeah, they were. I had people like ask me, Bonnie, is it you? Is it you? I'm like, no. I mean, first of all, look at the emojis. It's
Yeah.
definitely not Samsung.
Mhm.
And then I noticed that one of their posts mentioned my church
Ya, correcto.
and something about the paletas with like
Yeah.
caldo. I was like, first of all, that looked nasty. But yeah, they were kind of like, trying to. I don't know what they were doing, but I have a feeling I know who it is.
Ya.
And it's someone who knows our church and who's probably been to our church,
Okay.
but a musician. But I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
who it is. So
Porque
I've been trying to find out, but I don't know.
es como un misterio, ¿sabes?
Yeah.
Porque nadie sabe y tú les preguntas y no te dicen. Hey, ¿quién
Oh,
eres?
yeah.
Oh, no te contestan, nomás leen el mensaje de seguro y ya se acabó.
Hey,
Pero
because Jesus doesn't like liars.
yo le dije a Mark una vez y dije, no, yo no había probado
Ujú.
eso. Pero que, no hacen cosas malas.
No,
Siempre están
no.
poniendo cosas
Yeah,
chistosas.
it's funny.
Y eso que mantiene
Mhm.
alerta a lo que y me gustó porque ya han promovido 3-4 eventos.
Yeah.
Entonces
Uh-huh.
dije, está chido porque lo están haciendo como de
Ujú.
broma, pero están ayudando a la
Yeah.
casa. So, pero
I think that's why a lot of people thought it was me because they were promoting the events. But
yeah.
I was like, no, it's not me. But I mean, that's really useful though. That helps
Sí.
out a lot.
Porque eso
promoting
te
the
hace más
events.
libre.
Yeah.
Porque si lo haces muy formal, sí van, pero si es
Ujú.
como más chistoso, como que, está
Mhm.
chido. Que hacen eso. Entonces, eso es lo que tú harías si ya no fueras
Ujú.
secretaria. ¿Algo más que harías? ¿Algo más que cambiarías en la mesa directiva?
I
No,
mean-
no cambiar en la forma de hacer las cosas, pero cómo tú dijeras, esto creo que pudiera mejorar.
I mean, nothing really comes to mind, but no, nothing really comes to mind.
Porque eso y se me ha pasado decirle a Mark y Israel. Con Mark creo que es que no nuestra conversación, pero creo que es muy bueno tomar ese límite,
Yeah.
porque ahorita yo que ya no estoy, digo, yo pudiera haber hecho eso diferente.
Mhm.
Y estuvo en mi poder y no lo hice.
Mhm.
Y pasa el tiempo y luego decimos, ¿por qué no disfruté
Yeah.
ese momento? ¿O por qué no hice ese cambio? It's already too late. Ya es demasiado tarde cuando estás pensando eso. En
Mhm.
cambio, cuando lo haces pensando en el momento donde estás, puedes
Yeah.
hacer ese cambio. Porque ahorita, ¿sabes lo chido de esto? Es que ahorita esta plática va a quedar.
Mhm.
Y va a pasar un año y vas a volver a verlo y vas a decir, yo dije eso y no lo hice.
Man, hold up, I'm on record now.
¿Sabes? Y creo que es algo más que quieras mencionar del distrito, creo que es algo de liderazgo. Sé que ahorita, antes de comenzar, estuvimos hablando de lo de los líderes.
Mhm.
¿Qué cambios tú harías en el liderazgo? ¿O cómo te gustaría que el liderazgo fuera mejor? ¿Cómo tú lo harías mejor? ¿A nivel distrital o a nivel local también? Porque
Ujú.
pues también has estado en...
I would say like reaching out more, because for camp, I heard some people saying that we didn't know about it, and they're like far churches, and so I feel like maybe reaching out a little bit more, And not only that, I want to like see new faces.
Okay.
You know, but I know that's like more, you know, you gotta start out in your local and this and that. And but I would love to see, you know, new faces at district events.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would maybe even like to see, I feel like maybe because of the pandemic, but I would like to see like more events. I know we used to do a lot of like sector events and stuff like that. So I would like to see more
¿Tienen
of
sectores
that.
ahorita?
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah, but that's another thing maybe that I would probably change is maybe give the sector leaders like a little bit more support, I
Yeah.
guess. And you know, I have them like, you know, do events and stuff like that. Because I really liked how before we would have Gloria.
Yeah.
I miss Gloria.
I miss her
If
too.
you're seeing from
From North Korea, ¿no? O no,
North.
no, North Korea, no, de South
South
Korea.
Korea. Hold up.
Ya la habían, ya la habían,
Oh my gosh.
No estás allá, Gloria, estás en South Korea, donde fue esta
Yeah.
Gabriela.
La prima.
Ya, la prima. Literalmente es mi prima.
I liked how she had a group chat with
Yeah.
the sector, and she would like encourage us to have events at local churches, and then the sector would go and maybe invite other people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I would like to see more of that, you know.
Okay. Pues creo que es bueno, pues ya empezar a hacerlo, ¿sabes?
No, yeah, for real.
I mean, nomás estoy diciendo porque
Sí.
ya, es que creo que eso es demasiado importante, tener
Yeah,
comunicación.
and I feel like with the pandemic, you know, a lot of things, you know, kind of stopped, and I feel like we're getting back to it, you know, slowly but surely. Yeah.
Yeah. Sí, la pandemia realmente nos aplacó todo,
I know. Yeah.
desde familiares hasta iglesia, trabajos.
Well, actually, not really for me, familiar, because I feel like during the pandemic, me and my mom, we've traveled the most.
Oh, yeah, en la pandemia.
Like we went to go see our family in Washington a lot of times.
How
And
is
it was
Washington?
easy. Oh, I love Washington.
I've never been to Washington. I want to
It's
go.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like it's so green, and when you like, you know, it's the land and everything, you see all the trees. But when you get out of the airport,
Yeah.
the air is different. To me, the air is different. Like it's more fresh and
Yeah.
it's chilly, and I love it. I love it so much. And I go usually in June through August, around there,
Okay.
because it's warmer, but it's not like hot over
Como
here.
aquí.
Yeah, no, una vez sí, like it was like really hot over there. It reached like 100 and something, like
Oh,
it was like
caliente.
world record over there.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, this feels like 90s.
Ya, no comparado como que.
Nothing compared to Texas. And then we went to the lake that day.
Okay.
Y la agua, estaba calientita a little bit, but once you go a little deeper, it was like really cold.
Yeah.
But it was perfect. I love Washington. I love visiting my family all the time. And then
Yeah.
there's still snow in July.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like in the mountains and stuff.
Uh-huh.
We like to go hiking over there in Mount Rainier.
Oh, no, never.
And it's really nice. And where else do we go? Sometimes we go down to like Oregon, and the
Okay.
water's freezing.
¿Está fría?
Está bien fría.
¿Cuál es tu estado favorito?
Oh, Washington.
Washington.
Oh yeah, Washington.
¿Y
for
país? ¿Nomás has ido a México?
sure.
o has
Yeah,
ido?
like countries only Mexico.
México.
I've seen Canada,
Yeah.
but I was I was in New York, so I could see Canada, but I never went to Canada.
Yeah.
It was closed. The borders were closed at that time.
De New York. Oh, porque fuiste en la pandemia.
Yeah, was it
Oh,
during
bueno.
the pandemic? I think it was I think it was still during the pandemic a little bit, but I went to go work. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, no
El
sabía.
Injerto. Yeah. Over there, you know when they graft trees,
Ujú.
they get like a small little root. No, not root. Like a small little rama.
Yeah.
Yes, they it's like of a red apple.
Okay.
And then they cut the green apple tree, and then they stick that one inside the green apple tree, and then they like tie it, and then my job was to paint around it
Okay.
to seal it, so like there would be like no water or air that would enter.
Yeah.
And then after a couple of months, like it'll start growing, and then eventually when it gets big enough, they chop off the green tree, and then they have green tree, the green apple tree,
Okay.
and then now they have red apples.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a really cool process. I didn't even know like they did that.
¿Quién te enseñó a hacer eso?
A mi tío, he
Okay.
goes up there and he works.
En
Yeah.
eso. Nosotros teníamos, pero de durazno.
Oh, durazno.
Durazno, ya ves que hay durazno rojo y blanco.
Yeah.
Son que esos también los hacían, los injertaban.
Mm-hmm.
Pero no sabía que las manzanas también lo hacían.
See, yeah, they do that. It's a lot of work. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I came back with like back pain y todo. I had to get
Oh,
like a real
no.
good massage, but it was good work. I mean, I really learned like, you know, hard work and what it was like to earn, you know, your
Yeah.
money. And I even bought myself a watch. And I told
Uh-huh.
my mom, I was like, every time I look down at my watch, I will remember the whole time I was over there in New York. But I mean, the reason why I did it was mainly because of like student debt and stuff like that, you know, and which helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was hard.
¿Por qué estás? Ya, me imagino. ¿Por qué estás estudiando?
Yes, I am. I'm
¿Qué estás estudiando?
well, I've had a long journey.
Yeah. A ver, cuéntame.
Is that I started off as wanting to do marine biology.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but I don't know why I went to Abilene Christian University. It's a great school. I'm not gonna. It's a great school, but they did have, you know, a class for marine biology, and I was there for about maybe a year or so. No, not even a year. Was it a year? I think it was a year. Yes. From there, I transferred over to Corpus Christi. You know, that's when I was over there for about another year, and I felt like God wanted me somewhere different.
Okay.
And so I had a lot of like conflict within myself, and it was a really hard time because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with my life.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I don't like about our society, where they tell us, oh, you gotta have, like, you need to know what you want to do right now, you know. And a lot of us don't, you know. And so I was just trying to find my passion, like what I was really passionate about. And I love animals. I love the ocean. And but I came back home just, you know, to visit my family. And there was a preacher, you know, at the church, and he didn't know me. I didn't know him.
Yeah.
He didn't know my story or anything like that. And he was just preaching. And then he was, I still remember, he was like, you know, God doesn't want you to worry about the animals. He has that under control. I was like, ay, pues me está hablando a mí. I'm like, he's talking to me, obviously, because I was, you know, during that time I was dealing through all of that. And I remember I talked to my parents. I'm like, I think I have to come back home. And I felt so lost, you know. Yeah. And then not only that, like I would feel worse, you know, going on social media and seeing my friends, some of them like close to graduating and, you know, doing this and that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want to be there, but, you know, I'm not there yet. And so I came back home. I got my associates in science, which I really don't know what to do. Yes, then I went to UTD, University of Texas at Dallas, for a while. But I wasn't finding my passion. And then I found it when I was over there in New York.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm kind of glad because, you know, being over there, I was able to like kind of get away from everything, get away from the noise. Yeah. And I feel like everyone needs that from time to time, you know, to kind of like discover themselves. And I found my passion in physical therapy. Oh, nice. Yeah, and so I looked up some schools over there, and I contacted them, and I got in contact with Concord. And right now I'm studying for physical therapy assistant. Nice. And I should be graduating. You know, they say hopefully, you know, there's not another pandemic, they told me. Yeah. But I should be graduating next fall. So next fall. So I'm really excited. So I can finally, you know, get out there in the fields, because that's something I've always wanted, is like helping people. Okay. And because I knew, like, I've always wanted to help. And God was like, I don't want you helping animals. I want you helping people. Yeah. Yes. I remember, like, when I was over in New York, I made a list. I was like, God, I want this, 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 and this in my job. And every single point that I made on that list, physical therapy has it. Okay. So my plan for that is eventually, I'm going to continue, build some experience. And then there's a bridge program. I believe it's in Galveston, where I can go from PTA to a PT, a physical therapy doctor. I'll be Dr. Gomez.
Yeah, that's
Was
fine.
it-
Okay.
but Lord willing, but right now I'm really happy, with the career that I've chosen, and I'm seeing how much of an impact they really make in other people's lives, and I'm really excited for that.
¿Qué es lo que hacen ahí? A mí me imagino qué es lo que hacen, pero me gustaría saber un poquito más. ¿Qué es lo que estás estudiando ahorita? A mí ya lo acabas de describir, pero con más detalle.
But it's everything about like the body, the muscles, the tendons, the bones, joints.
Okay.
And it kind of depends on which field you want to go into. So there's like for kids, geriatrics for like older folks, and there's also like for babies. There's like so much.
Okay. Which one are you going to?
I don't know yet. Right now I'm kind of like in the beginning stages.
So, antes de ir ahí, ahorita llegamos ahí, pero cuando tú decidiste, esto es lo que quiero hacer, so, tú hiciste una lista de todo lo que querías en tu trabajo.
Yeah.
Eso es lo que tú hiciste y te ha funcionado hasta ahorita.
Yeah.
Okay. Ahora sí, nomás quería como, porque sé que lo dijiste, pero creo que es muy bueno cuando tienes una meta en tu vida. Porque si no tienes una meta en tu vida, o si no tienes una meta en un año, se acaba el año y no acabas la escuela, no acabas tu trabajo, no acabas tus ahorros. Y cuando tienes una meta, esta es mi meta para este año, y lo puedes lograr mucho más fácil que cuando no tienes una meta. Y me imagino, yo no fui a la escuela, como puedes ver, pero creo que con las personas que he hablado siempre, esta es la meta, y hacen esos pasos y les funciona.
Yeah.
No quiere decir que todos vamos a pasar por esos pasos, pero creo que sí es bueno saber qué es lo que quieres para poder hacerlo.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their own journey, and but it's really important to like give yourself goals, and that's what I would do when I was like in marine biology. I had these goals set out for me, but when God kind of changed everything on me, that's when I really felt lost. Okay. And I'm like, okay, I need to set new goals, but I think my problem was where to begin. Yeah. I think that was my problem, like where to begin. But I just thank God that He helped me out, and now studying something that's like I was always fascinated with the human body, the muscles and the tendons, how they all work and how they're all connected. Yeah, and then the nerves. There's not neurology. Well, there's like a branch for physical therapy that also deals with the nerves and everything. Okay. And I find that one like really fascinating. But at the same time, like you have to have like your heart ready because some of the cases are like heartbreaking sometimes. I know some patients, they're not always gonna get well, like Parkinson's disease. That disease, like Parkinson's, it's like it's with the nerves, and then como que like they slowly start like your body starts getting stiff, and then you start making like these really like stiff movements. Okay. And there's different type of therapy for that. I believe one of the therapy is big and loud. So yeah, it sounds weird, right? So, yeah. But it's because they talk really low and this and that, and they think they're talking loud, but they're talking really low. So in physical therapy, they teach them to speak loud, so their family members can understand them. And también like there's been cases where like the family members, they get mad at their family member who has Parkinson's because they don't understand them, and then there's this frustration and everything. Yeah. So that helps with their speech. Y también the big part is where they have to make big movements because they're walking really like shuffling. Yeah. But when they're walking, they walk like it looks exaggerated, but it's good for them, But sometimes like those patients, they don't get better. They get worse and worse. Oh, wow. And you have to like prepare yourself, for that. Yeah. But I really love, physical therapy.
Yeah. So ahora sí, ¿qué es lo que estás estudiando? ¿Para niños chiquitos, grandes o?
So right now I'm just studying general.
Okay,
like
general.
Del cuerpo and everything, the different types of diseases out there, and in kids and the older generation and stuff like that. But later on down the program, I get to like be part of like clinics. Okay. And I believe I can choose like what type of clinic I would want to go to. Well, one that I'm really interested in is believe it's orthopedic or something like that. Yes, it deals with like small injuries, like let's say if they had a hip replacement, yeah, or like they tore their ACL, which is in their knee.
Okay.
And that's like a lot of like that's sports también.
Yeah.
That's one I'm interested también. But I kind of want to try pediatrics with the kids, but I feel like it's gonna break my heart.
Sí, porque están muy chiquitos.
Yeah, because there's so many diseases, like genetic diseases
Yeah.
for children, and I feel like I would have to like constantly prepare myself every day. But I'm good with kids. I love kids, so
Yeah.
I feel like
Especialmente
that
como
would
eres
be
muy, o sea, eres muy perfeccionista.
good.
Pues creo que es para los niños.
Yeah.
Se vea difícil. Pero nada.
It would be hard, but one thing you have to have is like a upbeat attitude with them and be creative.
Yeah.
Because you can't, like with adults, you have to tell them, okay, you're going to do 5 squats, you know? And then with kids, you're like, okay, you have to do 5 squats. And they're like, after 1 squat, they're bored. Yeah, ya no la quiero hacer. And you have to find creative ways to get them active.
Tú eres muy creativa para hacer eso.
Yeah.
Siempre has sido muy creativa en las cosas que haces.
Yeah.
Creo que para los niños no sería muy difícil hacerlo.
Yeah. It's just probably being more like more creative with them and being more energetic, which can be tiring sometimes, but you know, you got to think about the kid, you know.
Correcto. No, y si es tu trabajo y amas tu trabajo,
yeah,
creo que es mucho más fácil hacerlo que cuando no lo amas.
And I think that's one thing that stuck with me is because my dad would always tell me that.
Yeah.
He would always tell me, like, Bonnie, you need to find something that you're passionate about because you don't want to wake up to just go to a job. You want to wake up, you know, to you don't want to see your job as just just a job. You're bored, you know, tired. You want to wake up and be excited, you know, for your career. And that, I guess that's why I was always like focused on, okay, I need to find something that I'm passionate about. I need to find something like that. Yeah.
¿Cómo fue tu recuperación cuando pierdes a alguien? ¿Cómo fue ese proceso?
Well, it's still it's a long process.
Yeah.
It's not something that's going to go away, you know. I feel like it's something you learn to live with because, you know, you learn to live without them.
Yeah.
And like with my mom, you know, she was with him for almost 25 years, you know.
La vida de nosotros.
Yeah, and she got so used to taking care of him because he was sick for 10 years, my dad. And unfortunately, he couldn't work anymore. And my mom was the one that was going to work. And she would go to work, come home, cook, feed both of us. And then she would be done for the day. My dad would like massage her feet, you know. Because that was his way of, you know, trying to give back, you know. And so that was her routine. And then I went off to college, but she still stayed in that same routine.
Oh, wow.
And, well, me off in college, I had to learn to live without my parents, which was, you know, it was hard because, you know, I'm an only child.
Yeah. Creo que eso es lo más difícil.
Oh, yeah.
Yo tengo 3 hermanos y pues si no pasa algo, luego les hablo una llamada. Pero solo, ¿a quién le hablas?
No, yeah, and it's hard. You know, because I've always had my parents.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of already used to not having them around.
Okay.
And then, you know, moving from Abilene and then to Corpus, that was, I think in Corpus, that was already 2015, 2016. And then I came back home, and that was, I think, 2017. And that's when my dad passed away in October 11th, 2017. So I was able to be with him.
Okay.
And for almost a year. And I'm really thankful. But I was kind of already used to not having both of my parents around, you know? And my mom now she had to learn to live without my dad, which, you know, she always had him around. And so I feel like, you know, it was of course more difficult for her because, I mean, you know, losing a significant other, a spouse, that's a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And, you know, not only is losing a dad, but I feel like her pain was más grave. And but it's a process, and I felt like I had to kind of step up for
Yeah.
both of us, because my mom, she fell into depression, and I felt like, someone has to, keep moving forward, and I know some spouses, like when they lose, their significant other, este sometimes they leave their clothes in the closet for like years and years, and or they don't move things that, así lo dejaron, you know. So I was like, okay, I this might be mean, but I was like, Mom, I need you to start, you know, let's start pushing forward.
Yeah, correct.
And I told her, Mom, I think we need to start with donating some of his clothes to maybe family members, or giving them to, just donating them. And at first she was hesitant,
Yeah.
pero I told her it was good for her. Porque ella se quedaba ahí en el closet a veces,
Oh, wow.
mirando su ropa. And you always have to go into the closet to get your clothes, right? And so I felt like that was a necessary step that she needed to take. But like I said, it's a long process. I mean, I'm still healing,
Right.
It's, it's been 5 years. Yes. And honestly, like, it's crazy how fast time flies.
Yeah.
And recently it was his birthday passed October 19th.
Oh, wow.
And he would have been 55. Yes.
Estaba joven.
Yeah, estaba joven. And my mom, she had a hard time, of course. And me, I try not to. That's one thing I guess I need to work more on myself, is that I don't like to I like to push down my feelings, because I don't want to feel it,
Yeah.
But out of nowhere se va a salir. And
Yeah.
which it did.
Yeah.
At a youth service that we had. But like, I see it as like trying to be there for her.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Porque creo que ha pasado en muchos jóvenes que por alguna razón se van sus papás, uno de los dos, y se separan de la iglesia. ¿Tú cómo le hiciste para mantenerte en la iglesia, aún batallando con tu familia, y luego con la iglesia, tu colegio? ¿Cómo fue ese proceso?
Man, that's a good question. I get that question a lot. Like, because I've seen it.
Yeah.
Where, a family member dies, like their parents or something, and they leave church. But I think it's because, like, they blame God.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I had a lot of reason to blame God, because I remember I would pray and pray and pray when my dad was sick. I was like, God, like, I know you're going to heal him. And then when they put him for the liver transplant surgery, I was like, oh, okay, I could see the finish line. Yeah. And I was like, okay, God, I know you're going to heal him. You're going to let everything, go well at the surgery. And, I had my hopes up real high. I didn't want to talk about death at all. Yeah. But my dad, he would bring up the conversation. He'd be like, Bonnie, if something happens, no, that te va a pasar. Oh, wow. Everything's good. We're good. He was trying to prepare me, but I just had, like, my hopes were like really high, and when he passed away, I was like, why? Yeah. And I remember, like, the day before, they called my parents and they told my dad, like, we need you at the hospital. We have a liver transplant ready for you, and you need to be here like in less than an hour or something like that. Okay. And so, as my dad was getting ready and everything, I would help him with his shoes because he couldn't really bend over anymore. And my mom was helping him también, and he sits us down, and I still remember he was like, Bonnie, Terry, whatever happens, don't ask God why. Okay. Because we don't know what tomorrow holds. Yeah. And just know, God knows best, and just, don't ask him why. That was the first thing that came out of my mouth the second I saw my dad's body, laying there. Wow. I was like, why? And my mom was the one that reminded me. She's like, Bonnie, remember what your dad said. Don't ask why. But, I couldn't help it,
No, y luego en tu edad.
Exactly, Y but for a while, I just kept asking myself why. I was mad. I was mad at God, and but I kept trying to remind myself of the words my dad, was telling me, and I had to remind myself, okay, everything happens for a reason. There's a purpose behind everything, and I need to trust in God.
Yeah.
I need to trust that there's a bigger picture. And now, like, I didn't see it before, but now I'm starting to see it. I was finally like, I would rely a lot on my dad,
Yeah.
but now I rely more on God.
Nice. That's beautiful.
And as to my mom, I just see the way God has been using her, like with this new ministerio de Aún de Pie. I think they brought it 2018 or something like that.
Somewhere in there. It's been 4 or 5
Yeah,
years.
and she was one of the first ones that they put as in charge. But she was like more like helping.
Yeah.
And ever since then, like I've seen the way God has been using her to help all these other hermanas that have lost their husbands, and so I'm starting to see the bigger picture. And unfortunately, like my dad had to pass, but I'm starting to see like the way my mom has been used by God, and it's just I'm proud of my mom. I'm proud of you, mom.
Yeah.
I know she's gonna be looking at this later while she's working.
Yeah, no está aquí, o aquí está, pero no está aquí.
Yeah, she's in the parking lot.
Pero un saludo a tu mamá, creo que ha sido una persona muy, muy fuerte.
No, yeah, I admire her a lot. There were times where I started doubting, and I started feeling depressed, but then I would look up to her, and she would help me out, and vice versa. When she would start feeling depressed, I would be the one like, all right, mom, let's go, let's keep going, and I would try to help her out. So I feel like we have that little balance between me and my mom, and which is funny because before, when my dad was still here, we would fight a lot.
You and your mom?
Me and my mom, we would fight so much. Yeah. We would always have arguments.
No puedo ver eso. No
I know, right? I know. But yeah, I feel like every daughter fights with her mother,
Más que los hijos con los papás.
Yeah, probably. But after, my dad passed, like I knew we had to be united. Yeah. I knew that because I knew the enemy was going to try to find some way to like rip us apart, and I was like, no, I'm not going to let that happen. And I knew that's not what my dad would have wanted. Yeah.
No, qué bueno que y creo que como dices, todas las cosas pasan por una razón. Creo que ahorita en este momento puedes ayudar a los jóvenes, puedes dar esa experiencia y ese testimonio de decir, si yo pude cuando no estaba mi papá, puedes dar un buen ejemplo. Y no nomás puedes, lo estás dando. Creo que muchos volteamos a ver y dicen, no, si ella pudo, yo también puedo.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's really about the mind. Yeah. Because, you can always think like, oh, why me? Like, I didn't deserve this. But if you can just like shift, your mindset and just think, okay, there's a purpose behind this pain. Yeah. I know God is gonna use this for my good,
Yeah, no, estaba pensando, porque ya hablamos un poquito, creo que es bueno hablar de estos detalles, especialmente porque todos en algún momento pasamos por algo así o similar, perdemos a alguien, y creo que es bueno saber que otras personas han perdido a alguien especial y aún están en iglesia, aún están echándole ganas, aún están sirviendo, no nomás a nivel local, pero a nivel distrital. Y no nomás servir a la gente, pero estar sirviendo a Dios, que es lo más importante. Porque una cosa es servir a la comunidad y otra cosa es servir a Dios. Son dos cosas muy diferentes. Puedes hacer lo mismo o podemos pensar que es lo mismo, pero son dos cosas muy diferentes. Servir a Dios y servir a la comunidad. Lo que chido, quería saber una experiencia chistosa que ha pasado en tu vida.
Oh gosh, I have so many.
Ya casi vamos a terminar, pero creo que es chido. Siempre hablamos de Margarito, siempre le digo yo a Margarito que siempre en los episodios, al último es cuando ya se empieza a poner chido, porque ya que empiezas a tener esa confianza de hablar y ya realmente ya las cámaras y los demás ya no lo tenemos en la mente porque ya estamos en la conversación. Pero sí me gustaría saber una plática o algo que haya pasado chistoso en tu vida.
Oh my gosh, there's so
De
many.
todas las cosas que han pasado.
It's because, oh my gosh, like with my dad, it was always something embarrassing, but for him, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
For me, it was like so embarrassing. Um, Man, this is a good question because there's just so much I can't really pinpoint.
Tantas cosas que tienes que
Yeah, yeah. You put me on the spot here.
Ya, te iba a decir, te voy a hacer esta pregunta, pero nunca lo hago y yo creo que a nadie le he mandado un mensaje y decirles vamos a hablar de esto, porque siento que la conversación ya no es nada natural. Cuando ya vienes preparado, que es bueno preparado, se hace como una plática muy motona. Y cuando es natural, pues sale lo que sale. Pero, ¿qué planes tienes para este año que viene?
Oh, man. Well, for sure, I know...
Para tu vida secular y para tu vida de carrera, de tu carrera.
Well, I know for sure, because right now I'm on a break with school. So I start back like right after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So
ya mero.
Yeah, mero. So I know I'm going to have to shift gears a little bit, and I really have to focus because it's a lot of studying and it's fast paced. So I feel like my focus is going to be a lot on my studies.
Okay.
And then pues, you know, with district and everything, I feel like I just need to find a way to make sure nothing like clashes or anything like that. Because one thing I do want is a better, how do I say, mental health.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to stress myself out anymore. Because I tend to put like things together and I'm like, oh my gosh, last minute, like, ay, ¿qué está pasando? You know? So I feel like that's going to be one of my focuses is like make sure I have, you know, things planned out and like, okay, like set goals for myself.
Yeah.
That way I don't stress myself out and I'm able to do the things that, like priorities, like the responsibilities that I need to take care of. And then also have time for a social life.
Yeah.
You know, you know, but yeah, I feel like también more family time. Because I feel both my mom and I are very busy. And just like the other night, we were able to, well, because of the rain, we were able to stay home. And we just had like a small little family movie night, which was nice. Yes, which is, like, it's been a while since we've had that. And I want to keep doing that. Because I want my mom to know, you know, that we can still hang out. And that way we can both, you know, de-stress and stuff like that. Yeah.
Algo que los jóvenes del distrito no saben que te gustaría compartir.
Oh, my bad. Hit the mic.
Para que conozcan un poco más de su secretaria.
Uy, ay.
A mí, yo sé que a lo mejor mucha gente no sabe que estabas estudiando o quieres estudiar para lo que estás estudiando. Y yo no sabía. Y te conozco y no sabía. Qué chido que estás estudiando eso.
No, but you know what? I feel like a lot of people, when they see someone in like a leadership position, I feel like they think, oh, they got everything together.
Yeah, no.
We don't. we do not. But let's see, one thing that people don't really know about me. I don't know. I'm pretty open.
Eso creemos. Like, mucha gente sabe cosas de mí, pero mucha gente no sabe.
Yeah. Man.
Like, mucha gente, tú pensarías que a mí me gusta la naturaleza.
I love nature. I love hiking. I love all that good
y
stuff.
Y mucha gente no sabe que me encanta. Yo prefiero ir 1000 veces a una montaña que a una ciudad
oh, that's for sure.
De edificios.
Oh, that's for sure.
Y mucha gente a lo mejor no sabe.
You need to go to Washington. Oh, you're going to fall in love. You're not going to want to come back.
A mí me encanta Colorado. Yo no
Colorado.
Más que Colorado.
Yeah,
Colorado
right there is really nice.
Tengo las mejores memorias de mi vida en Colorado.
Really?
Yeah. Memorias que nunca jamás en mi vida voy a olvidar. Memorias muy bonitas.
I mean, not a lot of people know I play piano. I'm not like amazing.
No como tu novio.
No, nothing compared to him. He's awesome like me. No, I'm still learning. What else? I like to watch movies.
¿Cuál es tu película favorita? Porque íbamos a hablar de.
Oh man.
No sé por qué, pero tengo un día ganas de hablar con una persona de la serie The Office.
I love The Office. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm a huge fan of The
Creo que
Office.
estaría chido hablar de eso. No, yo no sé nada, nunca la he visto.
You've never seen The
No,
Office?
tú me la has
You
recomendado.
know what? I think me and Mark, like, we're big Office fans,
Creo
right?
que estaría chido.
But I think I beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were doing like an office quiz thing.
Yeah.
And then I was getting some questions right, and he was like, "Bro, I didn't even know that." I'm like,
Creo que estaría chido un día hacer un podcast, un episodio donde esté Mark, yo y tú.
Uh-huh.
No me acuerdo quién es otra persona. Es del distrito. Hay dos personas más, no me acuerdo. No.
You need to connect me with them. I need to know.
Ellos saben de Office como si
Oh yeah.
fuera su, no sé, como su ídolo. Creo que estaría chido.
Hey, chill. It's not my idol. Okay.
Yeah. No su ídolo, pero sabe mucho de esa película.
Yeah,
Creo que estaría chido. Yo nomás voy a estar viendo.
Hey, pero watch after this. You post this, they're gonna be like, "Hey, Bonie, ¿sabes tu Biblia también? The way you know The Office." Yes.
Sí, hay personas que saben mucho que.
Yeah.
A mí, que son amigos del distrito y dicen, yo estaba viendo The Office. ¿Quién no la estaba viendo la semana pasada? O la estoy viendo cada vez. I was like,
yes. That is, it's because I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I watch The Office a lot, but it's way more than that. But it's because I kind of have it like in the background, kind of like background music.
Okay.
And I'm not always watching it. Like, I'm just listening to it, and I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, like, it kind of just relaxes me in a way, you know? But.
Okay. No, pues ojalá que un día podamos, cuando ya tengamos algo más grande, hacer un episodio así.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Nomás, yo no me voy a estar ahí viendo a ver qué es lo que hacen. Pero estaría chido. Pero bueno, gracias. ¿Algo que quieras más comentar, Bonnie?
No. I'm still trying to think of something funny, like, because I'm telling you, so much has happened.
Ahorita que vayamos a comer y...
Oh, I'm pretty sure well, I mean, vamos a comer con mi mamá. She has so many stories.
Ella se va a acordar mucho de muchas historias.
I guess maybe one thing I know she would tell you is when I was little, I loved dinosaurs.
Okay.
And but I also had Barbies, but my dinosaurs would eat my Barbies, right?
Oh, nice. Bien carnívora.
Una vez, my mom, she took one of our vecinas to Walmart or something.
Yeah.
And my mom me dijo, Bonnie, I don't want you asking me for anything because we don't have money right now. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I won't. And so we go, and I see this little bag. It's just a small little bag of like dinosaurs. Okay. And I've never thrown a fit when I was a kid. Never. Yeah. So what do they say? Berrinches?
Berrinche. Yeah. Berrinchuda. No eras berrinchuda.
No. Because my mom, yeah. but that day, for some reason, like, I just threw a big fit that I wanted it. And then the vecina was like, oh, pues mija, I'll get him for you. And my mom was like, a little embarrassed. Yeah. Not only because, the vecina bought them for me, but también I made it like this huge scene, you know? And my mom was like, you never do this. Yeah. And so, my mom was like, we get home y todo. And I knew in her head, she was like, oh, Bonnie, you're going to get it when you get home. Yeah. Oh, And so we get home and she starts, like, telling me, hey, Bonnie, give me those toys. Estás castigada. And I start crying again. And then apparently I go to my room and I get my backpack and I start putting things in there that I was going to run away with and go live with the vecina porque ella me compraba todo,
¿Qué edad tenías?
I don't know. I think I was like 4.
O sea, chiquita.
Yeah, I was little. No, I was real little. And my mom was like, hey, pues tú te puedes ir con ella, but you're going to leave that backpack here because I paid for all of that. And I was like, no, okay, I want to leave. All this and that. And so my mom, she really didn't hit me. Okay. But that day, like, she called my dad and she was like, Lalo, Bonnie, she did this. And, like, I don't know what to do. And my dad was like, you need to spank her. Oh, wow. You need to spank her because if you don't stop it now, she's going to keep on doing it. Yeah. And sure enough, my mom, she spanked me. Yo toda llorando. Like, ay, no. And my mom, pobrecita, ella lloró también. But she made sure that I didn't see that. Yeah. Porque, le dolió. Sí, sí. And,
ella era su única hija,
definitivamente. Yeah, exactly. And so later on, I guess I'm in my room or something. And one thing about me, like when I was little, now I say sorry. You know? But when I was little, I didn't want to say sorry. Especially to my mom. I never wanted to say sorry to her. And so, apparently, like, I got up from my room and I go into like her doorway and I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, eso fue que sí le pediste perdón.
I asked, you know,
Yeah.
I said that I was sorry, and then yeah, fue todo. But that was the last time I ever threw a berrinche. But yeah, I threatened I was gonna run away.
Yeah.
I was like 3-4 years old. Like,
No,
oh
las
my
cosas
gosh.
que haces.
I know.
No, cuando está uno chiquito, yo también me quise ir de la casa algunas veces, pero al rato lo contaré. Alrighty. No, pues gracias, Bonnie, por hacer el tiempo de estar aquí. También
Thank
gracias a
you.
Margarito. Shout out to Margarito.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Ya, que siempre hace el trabajo. Pero gracias, Bonnie, por hacer el tiempo de estar aquí.
I know
Claro.
we've been trying to plan this for so.
Ya tenemos más de 2 meses, facilito.
Well,
por
it's
acá.
and plus it's because like I always get out of church late, and
Yeah.
Sundays were always busy for me. But I'm glad, we finally were able to.
Ya, muy bien. No, gracias, Bonnie, gracias a todos los que escucharon o vieron el episodio, les agradecemos. Gracias por haber tomado su tiempo y espero que hayan disfrutado la plática. Me encantó mucho, se fue muy rápido, llevamos más de 1 hora.
Oh Lord, I didn't even think. Oh my gosh.
So, gracias a todos los que escucharon o vieron el episodio, nos vemos para la siguiente. Cuídense, hasta la próxima.
God bless.
Beautiful.